Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now. Shanelle, PFL Europe 2024 season is upon us. Quarterfinals matchup for $100,000. Should it be pounds? Should it be a
I
hundred
wish
thousand
I
pounds?
wish it was pounds. Cause in dollars it's like 83,000 pounds, which is alright, but 100,000 pounds would be unbelievable. That's the real six figures there.
Definitely. I was
Even
thinking that. I was like,
euros,
man, this. Yeah,
even
yeah,
euros, like it's literally called the PFL European tournament. Like it should be
yeah.
in euros. Euros is a little bit better than dollars, but I'm not
Yeah.
complaining. I'm getting that anyways.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, but maybe I should talk to them about that. I don't know. So it's getting closer, right? So like, what are the emotions like since it's so close? It's about to kick off now.
Yeah, like my fight is in 3 weeks. I'm so excited. Like from fan, even from a fan point of view, I'm so excited. For the card, we have so many great fighters in the card. I'm obviously fighting in the European League and seeing so many great fighters in my bracket. I remember seeing on Instagram they're releasing that the girls. I don't know who's the girls in the tournament, so I'm just seeing it as everyone else seeing it on Instagram, like they're releasing them one by one. I'm like, oh, I know this girl, I know this girl. This girl fought this girl. This girl might fight this girl. Trained with this girl, so I'm excited, over the moon. As a fan and as a fighter as well. My last fight was about 6 months ago, so it's been a long gap, but I've been training every day since. So it's been like a long fight camp. I remember 6 months ago, everyone was asking me, "Oh, when's your next fight?" I said June 8th, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's ages away," but it's literally 3 weeks away now. But I'm happy, I'm prepared, ready.
Yeah, definitely. And like your opponent, Mariam Torchinava, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Were you surprised that they match you up with her?
Not really. Like the most surprising thing was when they released the whole bracket. I literally know every single one, every single girl in the bracket, but her. So they gave me the one opponent that I literally know nothing about. And on paper, it should be the hardest matchup. She has the most experience in the tournament. Her record is good. Her record is 9-2. She's a submission artist. Like we're literally polar opposite. I'm a striker, and she's a does jiu-jitsu, does a lot of submissions, but I'm pretty confident in my jiu-jitsu skills. Like especially at this point, like I'm a purple belt now. I'm taking people down. I'm wrestling every day. I've one of the best wrestlers, Brad Pickett, as a coach in the UK. So I'm picking his brains, using his expertise, of which I'm going to use in the fight. I'm obviously confident in my striking. I don't think she has much in her striking sense. And if the fight goes my way, then I think it should be a fairly easy fight for me.
Yeah, one thing, good about her is that she's ranked number one in her region. So you get to fight somebody who's the best of the best from her area, right? Which is a cool thing.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's called the European League for a reason. They're getting the best fighters from Europe to show it's 100K on the line. Like they're only getting the best fighters, so they're gonna choose number one in the UK, number one from wherever she's from, and number ones all around, number one in Ireland, just to make the league what it is. So when I do win the league at the end and I get the belt, I'm undeniably the best fighter in Europe. That's the plan.
There you go. And you started the year training in Thailand, having kind of like a break training type thing going on. When you look back at that trip, in what ways did you benefit the most, do you think?
I think just having the break. 'Cause obviously, I was there training, but just having a break. Last year, 2023, had like one of the best years of my life. But it was so busy. I fought 4 times. I fought in Polaris as well. So I competed 5 times on the highest level last year, and I traveled a lot last year. So just having that break. To free the mind, do what I want, and just chill a little bit. I hate having a break. That's why when I went Thailand, I had to train a little bit, but just to like reset my mind, because I know that 2024 is going to be the most important year of my life so far, because I'm literally fighting for 100K, and that's life changing money. So I literally said to myself when I was in Thailand, okay, relax, breathe, because we're going to have the biggest 2024, the most important 2024, and that's what I've done in Thailand. So I'm come prepared, fresh, no injuries, and going to put on the performance of my life.
When you got back to the UK from Thailand, did you know that fight was gonna happen? Like, did you know that? Did you get into camp right away, or were you kind of in this
That
period
was
of
that
like,
was
I
the
just gonna
initial.
train?
That was the initial plan. That my manager messaged me 'cause I knew I was gonna be in the tournament from last year, and the plan was that I'm in the quarterfinals in March, when I do the semis in September, and then the finals in December. So the only reason why I came back from Thailand, it was like, okay, I come back Thailand mid-January, like get back into routine stuff for 2 3 weeks and straight back to camp. I'm fighting in March. I came back a week later. My manager called me. He was like, yeah, so they're doing the female flyweights in June. I was like, June? That's in like 6 months. If you told me that 2 weeks ago, I would have stayed in Thailand for the next 2 months. But I'm back anyway. So I just kept training. Like I needed that 6 months break, and I learned so much in that 6 months break, and I can't wait to show everyone what I've learned in my time away in on June 8th.
So before you got into the training camp, like how did you spend your time? Did you go out to like different coaches and train with them, or were you just with your team and helping your teammates out?
A bit of both. I want to say a lot grounded this year. I don't want to travel a lot, so I want to spend a lot more time with my coaches because ultimately he's going to be my coach, he's going to be in my corner. So I wanted to stay in the gym, stay in GB top team, build a good relationship and base around my coaches, and learn some of their techniques. So that's what I've done for the past 6 months as well. I've done a lot of jiu-jitsu within the 6 months. I went to London Grapple, put the gi on a few times, done a lot of Muay Thai, so just kept it a little bit entertaining. So yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. And GB top team. Who are the sparring partners that you've had for this camp that have been closely helping you?
Yeah, so we have a good team down at GB Top Team. Like we have the highest of the highest. We have UFC fighters, Nathaniel Woods, amazing fighters like Lonnie Kavanagh, Joanny. So we have good high levels, people my weight. So I always get good sparring partners. We have one of the best girls team, I think, in my opinion, in the UK in GB Top Team. We have high level. We have brown belts, purple belts, blue belts, good wrestlers, good strikers. So it's like we have a great team at GB Top Team under a great coaches as well. Brad Pickett, he's a legend, so I can always pick his brains. He'll teach me from experience. Ashley Grimshaw as well, Barry Healy, they've been around, so they're great coaches that I know that I can learn a lot from them. This camp I went up Liverpool twice, and I sparred Molly McCann. I think she was a great addition to this fight camp as well, because in the UK there's not a lot of high level girls, and she's one of the highest levels. She's fighting in UFC. She's one of the biggest UFC stars. So I travelled to Liverpool like twice this camp to spar her, and just to get her expertise sparring, because she's my weight as well. We're literally the same weight. She's fighting at the highest level, so I wanted to get good sparring rounds with her, and we got great sparring. So that's a great addition to my camp.
How did that connection happen? Did she like recruit you to come in to spar her, or how did this happen?
It's kind of a long story. I kind of met her not face to face briefly, but about 5 years ago on my second MMA fight amateur. I starred in a BBC documentary alongside her. They had like three different girls in it. It's called The Rising of Female MMA. It was on BBC, and they had one girl that's the start, literally the start of their MMA career, and one girl was at the top of her career, and one girl was just transitioning pro. And that was the girl that's like on my first amateur fight. She was the one that's at the other end of the career. So that's where I kind of knew her from. And I done the British Championships for MMA about 2 years ago, and she was in my corner. So that's the first time I got to meet her. We built a good relationship. Obviously, I look up to her. She's an inspiration. She's paving the way for female martial arts, and she's such a great person, down to earth, and she always helps me. And she always helps the fighters as well, so it's worth my while going up there and getting the rounds in with her.
Yeah, and also her style is so unpredictable. It must be nice
Yeah.
to like spar somebody like that. And it's not someone that you spar every day at the gym, at your home gym, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like you get kind of comfortable in your gym. Like you're sparring the same people. They might be great sparring partners, but you know what they're gonna do. You know their weaknesses. You know the strength. You know how to beat them. So it can kind of get a bit stale, and you can kind of feel a bit comfortable. And I like getting out my comfort zone, going to a different gym, different environment. You get a little bit nervous. Different coaches, different styles. It's basically like a mini fight because you don't know what she's gonna do. So you're like trying to play it. We do 5 fives, and like the first round or two you kind of try to figure each other out. Like you have to use your brain so much more, and I think that's more realistic than sparring always in your gym. And what I really like about that, especially in the UK and a lot of guys, there's a lot of like gym politics and like don't go to this gym, don't go to that gym, like rivalries and stuff like that, like stay Like I'm from a Thai community, and in Muay Thai, like everyone goes to anyone's gym. Like everyone helps everyone. Like if you're literally you will be bounced around, spar this gym one day, go help out this gym, do PTs that gym. Whereas in MMA, like everyone just wants to stay in their own gym and do the whole thing a little bit with ego. But I'm not like that. I'm from the Thai community. Like if you're gonna help me in my career, then I'm gonna obviously go there and help my career. You have to be a little bit selfish in that way. So yeah.
Yeah, you have to be a teammate and be selfish at the same time, which is a
Yeah,
hard balance, right?
yeah, 100%. But at the end of the day, end of the day, there's only going to be one champion, and if you want to be that champion, you have to do what's best for you. And if what's best for you is going out your way to spar one of the best in the country, by all means, spar one of the best in the country. Yeah.
Nice. And how do you want to perform against Miriam? What type of performance do you want to have?
I just wanna have fun out there, and I wanna show people what I can actually do. I know she's submission artist, and literally every fight I go to, I just wanna have fun, put on the show. I'm a fan of the sport as well. I love watching amazing and fun fights, and that's what I wanna do. For the crowd as well, because sometimes I love watching MMA, but I'm that type of person. If there's a boring fight or it's just stale, like I'm like, oh, why these lot just hurry up, ref, that break them apart. I don't want to be one of those type of fighters. I want to put on the show. Like if the crowd's happy, then I'm happy, and that's why I love fighting. So I want to show people what I can actually do, and that's what I'm gonna do in June 8th.
I know nobody wants to lose, but for yourself, is the fear, because there's like this fear of losing for a lot of people. Is that in you? Have you lost that? Have you thrown that out the window? Like, I'm not afraid to lose. MMA, anything could happen, but I want to go out there and have a good performance every time.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of my one of my superpowers I'll say is that is my age and my experience. Like I just turned 23, but I'm literally I've had 100+ Muay Thai fights. I've lost like more than a dozen times. I've been on like bad decisions. I've been stopped in fights, so I know how to lose and I know how to bounce back. I've known myself as a fighter and as a person to not be afraid of losing. And for another thing as well, like as I said, I just turned 23, so I can lose. There's no time limit. I can be in the sport for the next 15 years. So if I go in my next fight, obviously I want to win, but I know if I go in my next fight, I can lose. And then I still have 14, 15 years to build. It's not the end game. So if I lose, I can reevaluate, go back to the drawing board and climb those stairs again. 4, 5, 6, 7, even 7 times. It's all experience at the end of the day. So I can be a millionaire now. Obviously, I want to be a millionaire in the next 2 years, but I can be a millionaire in 15 years. It's still £1 million.
Yeah, for sure. When you look at the rest of the roster, right, for the flyweight season, you say you know most of the names. Who do you think is the biggest
Yeah.
threat?
Biggest threat. It's probably going to be Skitizzy because she came second last year, so she's been through round one, round two, and got to the finals last year as well. And she's well rounded. She's from a legit gym, SBG, so she has the right sparring partners. Her coaches know how to win big fights. She has good jits, good wrestling, so she's a well rounded fighter. There's other girls in the tournaments. I know that they're strong points, but they're only strong at one thing and probably weak at another thing, which but I'm confident in anywhere that the fight will go. So it's probably Skitizzy or Lizzie Givers, I think.
Okay, all right. And I can't wait to see you enter this flyweight
Yeah.
tournament, man. It's gonna be wild. June 6th, Newcastle. How far is Newcastle from your spot?
About 5 hours, I think. 5 hours
Oh, it's not
drive,
too
but
bad.
like three and a
Yeah.
half hours train. It's alright. I
All right,
wish
it's
it
not
was in
that
London,
bad. Well,
but
yeah, of course, of course.
down the road.
Well, I'm excited to see you fight and make your run. Chanel, I've been waiting for it, and yeah, we'll see what happens, and we'll definitely be speaking a couple times this year.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, 100% gonna come away with the win. Bigger things.